I'm making a vlog and you're watching it, and I don't know why. But anyhow, you see these videos on YouTube quite often, and apparently they work, but I honestly don't even like doing them so much since it's mostly just boring. So, nevertheless, we got some technology for you, at least some of it. Um, we have a problem. My iPhone, which is recording right now, is broken. And why is it broken? Well, do you think the battery has some problem? Yeah, I ripped the pull tabs on it once again. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that after we finally got the battery out, we unfortunately punctured a flex cable. Let me show you the flex cable. Flex cable. We ripped it here, I think, and now my iPhone has a not working sleep wake button, a not working volume control, and a not working vibrating motor, and a not working switch for the um, silent and, well, how do you say, silent mode to normal mode or to loud mode, whatever, the little switch. Every button on my iPhone is broken except the home button, and that makes it kind of shit to use. I activated assistive touch, and I have to go to this button on the screen and click lock and click louder. First, I have to go to device and then louder, louder. Ah, oh, it's so freaking annoying. But I was thinking, you know what? It's annoying, but whatever, right? I can live with that. I'm no smartphone idiot, so I'm gonna deal with it. But there's one deal breaker. There is one deal breaker, and that is that the vibrating motor doesn't work. That is so annoying because I'm not getting it's not vibrating when I'm receiving a message. So either I could set it to loud, which I don't like, but also it might be annoying for a lot of people, especially when you are somewhere quiet. Or I have to set it to silent mode, but then it's really dead silent. Then you're not receiving anything unless you check. You click the home button and you check. And I've missed so many phone calls already because of this, and it's so incredibly, unendingly annoying. So what I have to do is I have to replace this flex cable. There is no other way. And yeah, it's kind of an involved process. To replace this flex cable, you have to take apart the whole iPhone. Yep, this is literally the last part that's sitting in the case. Look at that. Here the logic board, the battery is out, logic board comes out here, everything. Oh, the lightning port not. Oh my god. Who would have thought that? Well, I'm glad that still works. I couldn't even charge the phone. But here you see this is our flex cable, and it is really the last piece of the puzzle. So holy shit. Not only have to totally disassemble the iPhone, but I also have to take out my battery again. And that just pisses me off so much because these pull tabs, they just suck ass, and I have a feeling that they're gonna rip. And also, I have to figure out a way to mount it then, to kind of glue it in there, since I don't have these pull tabs anymore, and I don't feel like ordering them for another like $2 or so. So I don't even know if I could order these glue stripes alone. I think you can somewhere, but again, I don't feel like doing that. So yeah, this all comes with a problem. This is my daily phone. This is my phone I use for everything, and if I screw this up, I don't have a phone to use. I have my iPhone 4, but it's running iOS 5, and it's an iPhone 4. It's kind of outdated, and also the battery is weak, and I couldn't use that anymore. And I have a 4S with a broken screen or touch screen, and I have one iPhone 4 which is iCloud locked, and I have a bunch of old flip phones and Nokias and nothing that I can really use. So that brings me, after this long introduction, to our phone that we are going to buy in this vlog. this is not a phone channel, and I'm glad that it isn't because whole YouTube is a phone channel. But some of you have asked me what phones do I own, or what phones have I owned, and I first wanted to do a proper video, but the problem is I just don't feel like doing it, and then I'm not dependent on YouTube. And if this video only gets 2 views, I don't care. So I'm gonna say it now. I started off with a Samsung flip phone. Don't ask me about the model number. Then another Samsung flip phone. Then a Sony Ericsson to kind of slide up. And then a Samsung Galaxy Ace, which was my first smartphone, was a total piece of shit. Then an iPhone 4. In fact, oh, it's not here, it's my car, but I still use that for my music. It's an awesome phone. 4S, no, 4S, what I'm saying, 4S is here. Never had a 4S, I had a 5S, so I already had a 5S, which I screwed up by replacing the battery. That seems to be an ongoing phenomenon with me, screwing up my iPhones when trying to replace the battery. But that one was really badly destroyed, like the touch screen came up, and it was pretty bad. So then I had one iPhone SE and another this iPhone SE. I had one 16 gig iPhone SE, and I got a nice offer from my carrier to buy a 32 gig SE for only 160 euros, and that's this one. And I had to take it. This 16 gigs was just not cutting it, and now I'm going back to 16 gig. So yeah, guys, that is all of the history. And now I will show you the phones I actually have in my collection, or just ones that I got for free. Here are the iPhones. This one is iCloud locked, and oops, and it has a broken sleep wake or power button. It has a I think also not working speaker, and it's iCloud locked, so it's totally useless. The only good thing about it is probably the battery and the screen, so yeah. And then I have this 4S, which we tried to replace the screen on, and it looks awesome, like beautiful condition, but the problem is the touchscreen doesn't work. So yeah, that's the 4S. It's I think an 8 gigabyte. This is a 16 gigabyte. So that's it. Don't have any more smartphones. I think we have just gotten so addicted. Everybody in our society has just gotten so addicted to these smartphones that it's just gotten so bad that people just stop talking. They sit on their phone. They always have the earbuds in. They're not even aware of their surroundings. They sit on the tram or the bus like the whole time. And when we're waiting somewhere, like nobody would talk to you or even just look around, see what's going on. They always have to look at this fucking phone, look at their Snapchat and WhatsApp and Facebook and all of this crap. And I'm not any better. I use this too, and way too much, but this is how it is nowadays. Everybody is on these phones all the freaking time, and maybe that's the reason why I'm sticking with this smaller iPhone, just that it keeps me away from using it even more, because bigger screen, I could do more. Maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know. So, I have no idea if you can see me, because I have to record with the back camera. That's the front one. It has got a little thing in it, and yeah, it looks all crap. So I decided to record the whole vlog, as you see, with the back camera. I'm now starting my drive to the iPhone 5S, my future phone. And yeah, we'll see you there. See how it goes. See if I can make it an even 30. Don't want to pay 35.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, and we're all alone. Riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad.
Wow. And here it is. The awesome piece of hardware. iPhone 5S. He gave it to me for 30 because, yep, the screen has a problem. Yes, but touchscreen works, so that's all that matters right now. Alright, so I'm gonna drive home now. Today, unfortunately, I don't have time anymore to set this thing up. Everything's supposed to work, even the Touch ID. So, from the back, it looks pretty good actually, but from the front, it's just dead. And I could probably cut myself open using it, and I probably will, but nevertheless, here it is, even full charged. Check out my screen. Look at that. Beautiful, right? It's like having these lines now. I really don't know why that is. And it kind of gets worse the longer you use it. Or maybe it's because of the brightness. I don't know. No, it's a bit better. But yeah, you can definitely see this screen does need replacing pretty bad. Interesting what this screen does. Really beautiful. Oh gosh, guys. You know what I did? I just really messed up. Or I just now it's back. I just bought the cat in the sack. It's like in German saying die Katze im Sack. That means you bought something pretty bad. But man, I don't want to replace the screen. I don't want to, but I will need to because this is not. It's coming apart also. Motor works. Yeah. Well, let me plug this into the computer in my Mac and see how the battery is doing. And then we're gonna go on Amazon and order ourselves a nice replacement screen. Get here the informations. It's the iPhone 6,2, so 5S. It's built in 2013, and the battery is, yeah, pretty bad, 55.7. Oh gosh. Oh no. Huh? What the hell? Now it's, huh? Okay. Now it's doing its random art again. But the battery, well, now it jumped to 78. That's not bad. Does it say somewhere maybe the charge cycles? No, it doesn't. Oh, 1036. Yeah, well, what I would expect from such an old device. And yeah, now I can show you the trick. Lock. And voila, it's back to normal. Alright, it's a couple of days later, guys, and today, in fact, Google announced that they will no longer support Android on Huawei phones. Yeah, I know that's got nothing to do with this video, but it shocked me because I never saw something like this ever before. They're accused of Huawei being involved in espionage, and I didn't even know to this day that there are no Huawei phones even sold in the US. Because they're very, very common here in Europe. Back to the iPhone here. I ordered a replacement screen. It's a €7.80 screen off of AliExpress or AliExpress, or however you say it. Yeah, it's probably going to be the best quality display ever made. And nothing worse for this iPhone, of course. No, just kidding. It's probably going to be a really crappy screen, just like this one here, probably. But it will be a screen, and that's all that matters. So what we'll do now is, it's not here, unfortunately, but this iPhone says it's got a problem with Touch ID. Touch ID doesn't work, but I kind of think that it's still got the original button because it's got this little circle. I mean, I can be wrong, but the only way to find this out is to open it up and to see if the little cable is connected to the Touch ID. Oh, I see. Someone applied some glue, which is actually not a bad idea. He just didn't do too much of a good job, actually, because he just stopped doing it here. Or it faded away. Don't ask me how this could even be, but it is like it is. Surely not an original screen. This is just way too crappy, and the quality is not as good as the original. They just take way more force than this guy here. But maybe the quality wasn't so bad before its destruction. Okay, we can see we got the Touch ID in there, and this person even made it that he got this little piece back in, which I probably don't will. This piece is so small and annoying and just shit to put out. I will end it for today. The mission for today was only to find out if it has Touch ID, and it indeed has. It just doesn't work. And I hope you could like revive it with the new screen. I hope this is not damaged in any way. Could be, of course. I mean, if it is, you can, there's nothing you can do. But I could at least give it a try. So, I just put everything back into place just to make sure not to mess anything up, especially not the screws. I even put this little piece of shit back in. And when the new screen arrives, I will disassemble the camera and all of this shit, and then we can just do it properly. And I even put a tape over these pentalobes because they just beg to get lost otherwise. So yeah, this is the craptastic screen, and yeah, it isn't in too good health. With vlogs that you do over a long period of time, you forget about them. Yes, I have no idea when I made the last clip. I remember it was something about the 5S and the RD Express screen I ordered, and it's still not here. So I think it's around 2 weeks later, and as you can see, my workplace has transformed drastically. And also my amount of iPhones have grown. But the one you saw is actually done. How that? How that? Why did you order a screen and then you have a different one, or what? How the hell did that happen? I can tell you. I bought a iPhone 5S Gold for around $40. With a dead battery. It even booted up once, surprisingly, but unfortunately that was its last boot, and then it was just completely dead. It wouldn't charge. So I bought this, as you can see, gold, and I thought, since this has no battery, I'm still waiting on a battery, and it's iCloud locked. Don't worry about the iCloud lock too much though. I thought I will just use this screen, which was an original screen, and it's another 5S, so it would work perfectly on my smashed up but unlocked 5S with a good battery. And so I did, and I switched over the button, which unfortunately is still broken, sorta. The button works, but the Touch ID doesn't work. Whatever. What can you do? So I have a fully working 5S unlocked, ready to go, except Touch ID. Everything's working fine with even an original screen, and it's not in too bad condition. Even like it's a little scuffed up on the edges. I mean, it could be better, of course, but yeah, it's not bad at all. Um, so here is the screen of the smashed iPhone. Here is the button of the gold 5S, as you can see there, fancy gold button, and some essentials. And yeah, I'm waiting on the battery of this, which will probably arrive before the screen. So I'm still waiting on that cheap Chinese screen from AliExpress, and that will go in here. And as you can see, I have another iPhone, which is this one. And by the way, about the iCloud lock, I talked to the previous owner. He said he unlocked it, but that takes a couple of days. So yeah, waiting a couple of days is not a problem, as you can see, because this is not powering on anytime soon before I get the parts. And about this one, this is a 6S, which had a broken screen. It had a shady repair done to it. It's missing the plate again. They seem to leave that out all the time, which is sad because the previous owner said she dropped it, and then all of a sudden it would not display anything. And I would just look at it, and everything would have come loose. Like one of these cables was just unhooked, and I hooked it back up, and it fired up. And so it was almost okay, but this screen has a problem. It has lines here. It has the touch screen is not working here. So yeah, I needed to replace the screen, and I gotta say, this replacement screen, is not an OEM screen or a refurbished screen. I thought I'd go with a refurbished, but since this is iCloud Lock 2, and once again, she unlocked it, but it's taking a couple of days, I decided I'd try out a aftermarket screen. And I gotta say, this is the best aftermarket screen I've ever seen. This is from Scare Z. I don't know, probably one of the 1,000 random companies that just make iPhone screens. But this one has a pretty good quality screen. Now the brightness isn't all the way up because it's not set up yet. But I can tell you right away, like from just looking at it, it's very sharp. I don't know about the brightness. I suppose the brightness is probably not as good as the OEM, but I mean, I'm no expert, but I gotta say, this comes pretty darn close to the Retina screen, and they even included this screen protector thing, which isn't really to my personal liking, but it always looks good when you try to resell it, so I put it on. They can take it off if they want. And so we got a brand new screen on this iPhone here, not OEM, but I think pretty damn good. It's missing one pentalobe screw, and this one is from my iPhone 4 donor phone. And yes, the iPhone 4s have different length of pentalobe screws, so it's sticking out a bit, but that's not a problem. This one just wouldn't hook. You would screw, but it would just not grab onto anything, so I left that out. That's pretty much the only cosmetic problem with it. The rest is totally fine. I just hate this rose gold color, but it's just so nice. Yeah, the SIM tray is also gray, but yeah, that's again a very minor thing. So I'm just looking forward to this being finally unlocked, and I can set it up and put it up for sale, and I can flip it and sell it for, I don't know, $150, 160 maybe. God damn it. Just no, I want to turn it off. Said your goddamn language. It's only 16 gigs, unfortunately. They're not worth too much money. But it's rose gold, it has a new screen, and I don't know about the battery. I hope the battery is somewhat okay. But alone from like having a new screen and fully functional, I think these are worth 150 at least. So yeah, as you can see, I started this little repair business thing. This is, by the way, the original box with some essentials, with some accessories. So maybe that ups the value a bit. And yes, as you can see, I attended a Phil Collins concert. David joined me on this one. It was the best concert I've ever been to. Period. It will probably be the best one for a long, long time. So yeah, this dude just rocks. He's one of my favorite singers. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what I should tell you else. I decided the following. I don't know when this AliExpress screen comes, if it ever comes. I don't have any order details. I forgot, or I'm just too lazy to look for them. But from China, economy shipping that always takes a little time. And I don't know if it even is any good, but if it displays something, I'm happy. So yeah, this was my random vlog all about iPhone and repair and just other things. And I got interrupted by a phone call. Anyhow, what I wanted to say is, I will end it here. I will continue using my iPhone SE in this condition. Yes, in this crappy condition. I didn't order a flex cable. I have the following plan. I will use it until I find another iPhone SE, 32 gig. It needs to be 32 gig. 16 is just too low. If I find another one of these for a good price, like with a broken battery or any, just like for a good deal, I will buy it and I will sell this one as broken. Maybe someone can use it for parts or even fix it, but I just didn't feel like fixing it. Like putting more money into it. Then I ordered this flex cable again, and it already has a brokenish front camera and it has a wobbly screen and it's having all these problems. I just decided, I'm gonna use it now. I have it set to loud, so I'm not even that pissed off by not being able to use the vibrating function, um, which is still annoying. I don't want to have my phone always on loud. I just don't want to do that, but now I have to. Anyhow, I just didn't feel like replacing this cable. It's just too much hassle, and the risk of screwing something up even more is there. And so I will look out for another SE. And you probably scream right now, why don't you use your perfect iPhones up there? Well, I'm gonna sell them. The 5S is ready to go, already sold. And the 6S is just not. It's just too big for my liking. Yes, I want to have the small 4-inch screen. The SE is just my favorite iPhone ever made. So, this is that. If there's one thing you can take away from this crap-tastic vlog, if you're still watching, you're awesome. If there's one thing you can take away is before you sell your goddamn iPhone, unlock the iCloud. It's just I bought these two iPhones and both of these have iCloud locks on them, and I had to contact the previous owner and they have to unlock it, and it's taking 3 to 5 days until the iCloud lock actually unlocks. And that's annoying. Why can't you do that faster? Seriously, Apple? Anyhow, I think they're doing that on purpose, just to slow you down and just being asses. But yeah, just unlock this. And another thing, like this girl who sold me her 6S, which didn't do anything anymore, she had her entire data on the phone. Now, it was locked by a passcode, but still, like, her entire data was there. You shouldn't do that. I know she probably thought it was dead, but like, if it still shows up in iTunes with no displaying anything, just click on restore or just don't sell it if you're not confident enough, because you don't want to have your data on him and give it to a random person. I could have been evil and try to hack the passcode and then I have all the data, but yeah, I'm not this type of person. So yeah, just unlock your goddamn iCloud and then delete your data. Just restore your iPhone. It's really damn easier. If you're afraid of going into iTunes and hooking it up, then just go into settings, go to general, scroll all the way down, and just hit delete and delete the entire iPhone or something like this. It's called Zurücksetzen in German. I'm not sure how it is in English, but there's an option to delete the entire device. So just click on there and you're good. So enough iPhones, enough iOS, and yeah. See you later.